Welcome back to Beards and Brews. This week's review, John Carpenter's The Thing from 1982. Gentlemen.
Good one.
Yeah, absolutely. This is one of my all-time favorite movies. Not just horror movies, but this fucking thing is awesome.
It stinks of brilliance.
This is probably my, I want to say my third time seeing this. I think I saw it once when I was a teenager and then once more maybe 3 or 4 years ago. It gets better every time. I appreciate more of it every single time I watch it.
Yeah, for sure. Like this time around, I don't want to say we're more critical, but I actually took down notes and I noticed some stuff that I didn't notice before. And I think I solved it. I think I solved the end of the movie. I got it. I got the evidence right here. They're turning the frickin' frogs gay.
Oh, Wilford Brimley frog gay hybrids.
Oh no.
I can
Ribbit,
get into that.
I don't want to be in here anymore, Ribbit.
I was in cocoon, Ribbit.
That's his claim to fame.
That is not his claim to fame, and you guys know it.
No, but Chairman, if you're talking about his claim to fame being, hi, I'm Wilford Brimley, and this is Liberty Mutual, and I got diabetes.
Yeah, that's absolutely his claim to fame, no doubt.
Yeah, my favorite one is when he's like, hi, I'm Wilford Brimley. I'm an actor. This is a set. It's not real, but you know what is? Diabetes.
Fucking hard zooms in on his eyes, the camera shakes and turns red.
Yeah, he's got those glowing eyes.
Yep.
Oh, Christ. Well, let's get into it. Okay, so this takes place in the middle of Antarctica, and there's just a dozen dudes out there in some science post. They're just hanging out doing their science thing or whatever.
Just science
and,
stuff.
Yeah, just whatever, play a thing of chess, whatever. Pfft, cheating bitch. Day in the life. You just do it. And their solace is broken apart by this helicopter and gunshots in the distance. What's going on?
Hey, what the fuck is that? We're trying to play ping pong here.
It's just guys being bros. That's all it is.
It looks like a fun time, even if you can't walk outside for risk of immediate death.
For risk of immediate death is the best way to put it. Whether it's from the cold or from this Norwegian helicopter buzzing overhead, and they're all like, chicken in the pot, Bart, Bart, even though that's Swedish, whatever.
Well, shit, though. What's his name was saying that the whole time. The Swedish fella, they're Norwegian. It's whatever.
What's the fucking difference?
Yeah, we're just all racist and bros down here. Whatever.
Yeah, but they're shooting at this dog, and you're immediately like, what the fuck? Leave that dog alone. What did that dog ever do to you?
Yeah, he's just a snow pupper from that movie Snow Dog, starring Cuba Gooding Jr.
I thought that was Air Bud.
Zoom in hard to Cuba Gooding's face, right up on the eyes. Camera starts shaking, turns red, glowing eyes also.
Oh no, they're just all infected.
Does Cuba Gooding Jr., does he have diabetes?
I mean...
Alright.
No, but... Alright, so cool thing about this, I had the DVD, popped it in, and when you turn on subtitles, it actually shows you what they're saying in English. And it's actually really fucking cool. Because, to an American who only speaks English, you're just like, man, what's this fucking gobbledygook? Whatever. They probably deserved it.
Excuse me, gobbledygook. That is Icelandic.
Yeah, he said bees and disease to you too.
I assume it's Icelandic. There's a song called Gobbledygook on a Sigur Rós album, and they are Icelandic. So, yeah, it's probably Icelandic. It's probably nothing.
Oh, yeah. I think I've heard that song. It's like, ba-da-da-da-da. Yeah, I don't like it. Yeah, but just the Norwegian fella is trying to warn the guys. It's like, hey, stay away from that thing. It's not a real dog. It's something. Get out of the way. And after the helicopter lands and everything and blows up, he's still trying to shoot the dog. He misses. He hits one of the Americans. Then they're like, wait a minute, that's our language. Get the gun. And they blow the fucking dude away.
Yeah, he was going to be an adventurer. Sorry, no. He used to be an adventurer, and then he got shot in the knee.
I was confused by this bit. I know he's trying to shoot the dog, but he never actually aims at the fucking dog. It's just shoot it!
He doesn't come close.
No, ever.
These Norwegians are bad at what they're doing.
Yeah.
He takes a grenade out of the box and is just like, I'm going to throw this. Fuck, I dropped it.
I'm gonna throw this fuck. I mean, he's just like a scientist. I mean, he's not like properly trained or anything. He's just like, I've seen this in the John Wayne's movies. Gun.
We don't know what his training history is. He could be, like a Norwegian Army Ranger Navy SEAL kind of guy.
Then their Army Ranger Navy is piss poor.
Fact. He could have been the Norwegian version of McCready. Except for, I don't think he would have tried to dig up a live grenade from 2 feet of snow.
No, that was fucking dumb.
Yeah, he needed that perk to extend the fuse so I could toss it back.
Oh.
So there's 2 Norwegians, right? One of them gets blown away.
Well, the other was the pilot of the helicopter, and he gets blown up.
Okay. So do they both die?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I was a little bit confused about where the other one went. We never got him in.
Of course, with the helicopter pilot, he blows up with the helicopter. And the other guy with the gun that was shooting the dog and he shot, what's his name? He got blown away by Gary because he had the 45.
Okay. All right. Well, that answers one question.
One of many. Ooh, the thing.
The thing. But that fucking dog just starts like having its run of whatever inside this place.
Yeah. So, spoilers. The whole point of this movie is that there is something assimilating everybody. So that means it's taking its time, moving from person to person or thing to thing, just replicating them and basically destroying them. So, like us 3 right now, one of us could be a copy of ourselves. So that's the great mystery of this movie.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Eric's kind of sus right now.
Eric's super sus.
Yeah.
Hey, look, you sussed it first, and that's kind of sus.
I'll skip this turn, but I'll float your ass next go.
Hey, look, you can vote me first, but hey, Chandler's got to go next. Just saying.
Eric was faking tasks.
I've got my list right in front of me.
Dude, follow me to Med Bay. Watch me scan.
All right, so yeah, this dog, was this dog like one of their crew to begin with, or did they just like take in this new dog?
Well, my assumption is that because they're in the middle of fucking nowhere, Antarctica, they have like sledding teams so they can get around.
Uh-huh.
So, like the Norwegian has like a bunch of dogs, and the Americans have a bunch of dogs as well, in like the little kennel.
Uh-huh. Well, wouldn't they notice if one of their dogs was missing for a while? 2, if they ended up with 1 extra dog. Like, I assume they know how many fucking dogs they have, right?
Well, no, they knew that dog was not theirs, and it was just roaming around.
Yeah.
So they just took in a new dog.
We see later in the movie that when McCready and the gang show up to the Norwegian outpost and everything's like super duper fucked, is that, everybody's pretty much dead. No, everybody is dead. The people in the helicopter escaped, and the thing turned into the dog to run away.
I guess I'm thinking about it more from like the scientist point of view. Like, they're just gonna take in one of the like this dog. It wouldn't be like a You wouldn't think that it's one of the Norwegians' dogs because they're trying to kill it. So it's just this new dog.
Had the dog just showed up on my doorstep, I see angry people throwing grenades and trying to shoot it. I don't think the first thing I'd be, doing is letting it inside.
I don't know. He seemed like such a good boy, though.
Yeah, I think that's the point. I think that just leads to the ease of its infiltration.
And then it just, like, pokes around a little bit, starts sniffing around, wandering around, being a general good boy. Nobody puts him in the kennel with the rest of the dogs until, like, a day later.
Hey, nobody puts a good boy in the corner, okay?
Fact. He was just chilling under the pool table looking really cool.
Yeah, he's just like, I'm just a sad little dog. I almost got killed.
I was going to say, but they do go and try and check out to see, like, what the fuck was going on with them Norwegians.
Yeah.
And they go to their base. It takes, like, an hour to get there via helicopter. And shit is whack.
That does kind of ring true about how, like, awful that dude's accuracy is. Because that dog and helicopter went for an hour straight, and he couldn't hit the fucking thing.
I just thought about that, and it's blowing my fucking mind. Like, that's so many misses. Like, at what point do you just not smash it with the chopper?
No kidding. Just like at that point, just like, narrow crash.
Now, we get to see as this thing is just roaming around, and they go check out the burning place. That's where we're leaving off, correct?
Yes.
So now they're there, and they kind of put two and two together with these papers and such that something has gone down, and it involves an alien in a cube, maybe.
Like an ice sarcophagus there, and they're like, what the fuck was this?
And McCready's like, what the fuck? I've seen Encino, man. I know where this is going.
Oh, downhill 10 years after.
Oh, Brandon Fraser. May he live in our hearts forever. Oh, Jew.
In addition to this ice sarcophagus, as I put it, they find there's one of the scientists are still there, like with his throat slit open, and then they find like another set of bones, just like burnt and charred. Shit went down here.
Yeah, shit was 100% real, for sure.
And then they find this sticky, smoldering, as far as I can tell, this corpse thing. A corpse of something that we don't exactly understand what was. I still don't really. It has sort of two heads, or...
It's definitely a thing that was like mid-transition, and it just got busted, so, you know, they busted his ass and he didn't quite make it.
But it looks fucking cool.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, we'll take a little detour here. The visual effects in this movie are 100% physical. They are real. No CGI in this entire movie, and goddamn, are they fucking phenomenal.
They're so fucking good. And that's something that I never appreciated before. Like, before I really paid attention to things like that, the previous times that I saw this, I didn't even bat an eye at it. Paying attention to it this time, they are so good.
Watching dog metamorphose for the first time, that shit is fucking crazy.
Oh, 100% agree. I was watching this movie earlier in the week, and I had made a sandwich. I just tried to enjoy it while I was watching it, and it got to the bit where the doctor was just like splitting that fucking pile of viscera open, and he just saw all those little bits of like everything it tried to assimilate, and I was just like, I would not like this sandwich anymore.
Oh, when they take the that corpse of whatever back and he tries to do an autopsy on it, and it's just
Correct.
like normal human organs on the inside.
Yeah, he's like, this is a normal human organ. That's a kidney, and this is a dog part. They have everything together. Wait, these don't belong together.
Something here doesn't add up.
Yeah, like in his mind, he's like, the leg bone's connected to the dog bone? No, that's not it.
Eric, you are on point today, sir. I am laughing.
So yeah, speaking of that, the next thing we get is everybody sitting around, hanging out, watching Let's Make a Deal and, smoking a little green. And finally somebody's like, hey, what's that dog doing? Put him in the fucking kennel. What are you doing?
What in the fuck is this? And they were just like, what?
So the fucking lumberjack Shia LaBeouf character is like, all right, I'll put him in the kennel. And the dog this dog is a fucking good actor. I'm gonna give it to him.
Like, would you put him on the same level as Rimshot from Ernest?
Oh, I don't know. That's a tough one.
Yeah,
No.
Rimshot's a masterclass.
Y'all can go ahead and take that comparison and just shut it down, because this dog knew good boy, sit, stay. Rimshot drove a fucking car, all right, while Ernest battled a troll. That's all I'm saying.
I guess. But he gets, the dog goes into the kennel with the rest of the dogs, and you see him just, staring at a spot on the wall. All the rest of the dogs are sleeping or, just chilling out. This dog is just like, there's something there. And this is before you really know, So you're like, what is it?
What is it?
Well, you want it all, but you can't.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, there we go. This is all pretty epic. I get it.
But then we see the dog start to do its thing, and its face peels open into this fucking... It's like one of those plants.
It's basically like a demigorgon. It's like a fucking face flower. It's like...
Yeah. Combined with the Little Shop of Horrors plant. Yeah,
No,
and it has tentacles and shit. It's wild.
And the cool thing about it is, like, the thing doesn't have a definite form, so all the gross shit we see in the movie could just be completely random, like whatever it thinks of.
Mm-hmm. Or maybe things that it's experienced in its previous life, hundreds of thousands of years ago when it invaded other planets.
What works well to incorporate in every species to capture the next species? Teeth and tentacles. That's all it is. Just a ball of teeth and tentacles. Tentacles with teeth. And it's just reaching out and grabbing everything.
It's a fucking eldritch horror.
Fact.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is, but that sounds gross.
Like Lovecraftian.
Yeah, it's definitely like a Shoggoth, for sure.
So, this is the moment where your mind starts to, like, tick away. Like, it's infiltrated this little, it's called Outpost 31, like the little science area. And who's had contact with this thing? Like, the dog kind of rubbed up on everybody at first, and then it was taken to the kennel, and you're thinking, wait a minute, the only guy that runs the place is Bennings. He's the guy with, like, the little red beard and stuff at the beginning, so you're like, he might be the first to go.
That's the guy that I was calling Lumberjack Shia LaBeouf.
He's got, like, a chainsaw. Wow, just do it!
Groovy.
Oh.
Well, before he turns into actual cannibal Shia LaBeouf.
So I think it's Windows or whatever, where Bennings was, or whatever. He walks into the room, realizing that thing that they brought back wasn't dead, and it was starting to assimilate as Bennings right in front of him. So that's when he calls the attention of all the other fellas.
He definitely called the emergency meeting right then.
Yeah. And man, there's a lot of scenes that are great in this movie, but I just love the fact that, like, all these guys in a chorus are just like, fuck this guy, execute him immediately.
And that's, you're talking about Wilford Brimley?
No, Bennings, the kennel guy. The first guy, like, he was, like, mid-transition, and he's all fucked up. He's got, like, gross spaghetti hands. He tries to run outside.
So he runs outside, and Amber's like, look at him. He just wants to get away. Just let him go. And he, like, falls down in the snow, and he turns and looks at him, and they're like, that's not Bennings. And he raises his hands, and they're just, like, noodles and just weird looking. And then he raises his other big hand. She's like, oh, he's got a bigger one than a little one, like Nemo. He's just got, like,
I was thinking they were like crab hands, like mutant crab hands, but kind of noodly, too.
Noodle Crabman gets the dick into the stick, because, like, he thought he had it. Thought he had it all. And he gets super fucked immediately. They're just like, Bennings, you got real ugly.
They kick over that entire 55-gallon drum of whoop ass, and it just pours all over him and pulls around as you get to see Kurt Russell being Kurt Russell, a badass, light the flare, throw it in. Bennings doing that weird scream thing as he burns up.
Yeah, I think this was a little bit overkill. They will probably need that fuel later.
No, well, see, I think that fuel was siphoned from the helicopter. Like, even though it exploded in this huge ball of fire, they did get the fuel from the helicopter afterwards.
I don't know. Okay.
I said, look, that was a group task.
It was a mutual task.
Yeah, I don't know. They could have. It was a little bit overkill for me. That's a lot of fuel.
Totally, and, like, in the long scheme of things, totally would have screwed them over. But it did show everybody in the party that, like, fire is the definite way to kill these things, and not being Norwegian and having a gun.
Yep, yes, it did work.
They're getting that together when all of a sudden they start to hear another commotion, I do believe, and it turns out it's Bennings, not Bennings. Is that Wilford Brimley's name?
Blair.
Okay.
Blair.
Yeah, Blair has been putting two and two together throughout, all these little bits.
Yeah.
And enough is enough. He's, like, sabotaging the chopper and the tractor and then throwing a fucking fit and barricading himself inside what looks to be a radio room, a computer room.
He's in comms fucking shit up.
Nice. I guess he's like, no one's getting the fuck out of here.
Like, can we just discuss briefly, like, how easily and absurdly he lost his shit? Because, like, he was just at the computer going, taka, taka, taka. There's a 75% chance more than one person's infected. He's like, yep.
Ah! Get away from me! His blood sugar was low, guys. Like, I get it.
Oh, no.
Oh, man.
Damn. Jediah beat me to it.
Oh, I beat you to it. Jesus, look at y'all. You're up with the A game. I can't keep up. I didn't have for this. I just had like he's in there like there's already mutual help you save on your medications. Just smack.
That's good though. Oh, he just falls back into his spiel.
Yeah, like it's like hardwired into him, and he's not even meaning to do the commercial. He just can't not. He can't not.
So the next thing I have is they start watching these tapes that they pulled out of the burnt Norwegian area, and they see actually where they pulled something out of the ice, this huge something, and they're like, we got to go there and see what that something was or whatever.
Yeah, for sure. And Wilford Brimley, aka Blair, he lost his shit over one line of text on a computer screen. And these fellas go to this place and see an actual goddamn UFO, and it's just like, yeah, all right, this is weird, guys. We should.
Sorry, that is not a UFO. It is neither U nor F. They are identifying it, and it is art.
Extraterrestrial vehicle in a no parking zone.
Yeah, it's a fucking flying saucer. It's a flying saucer deep in the ice that they say is like 100,000 years old, so it's been there a while.
And now it gets towed. Great.
Also, Kurt Russell looks straight up like Yosemite Sam right here.
Oh, that stupid fucking hat of his. He's so
going
dumb.
to the fucking gold rush.
So I don't know if I'm wearing this hat sideways or not. Let's go.
Oh, tarnation. This is where I have one of my first grievances in the film. For a movie that wants you to pay attention and really focuses on, A equals B to, pull you in. They have a fucking literal ice wall where this flying saucer is. And it is X amount deep to show that it was 100,000 years of ice collection. The alien, though, was found right up in the fresh snow at top. Like, did it take him 100,000 years to slowly crawl up that far, or has he been chilling there for 100,000 years on top?
I mean, it is kind of weird that like the UFO is like pretty much intact, and then you just got like alien bro just like in his little sarcophagus just chilling
10 foot away at the top.
Yeah. Exactly. It's like he's the guy that left the things like, hey man, I'm gonna go get some snacks. We're like, all right, be back in 10. Never returned, just like his alien father.
He couldn't go to the close Sitgo. He had to go to the Sitgo that was a little bit farther away.
For sure.
Yeah. So who I forgot was in this movie until right now? Keith David.
Keith David in this movie is like at his peak prime or whatever.
I can't really say that I agree 100% because I just think Keith David does the same thing. He's just raspy and kind of pissy in every role that you see him in.
Yeah, okay, yeah. He kind of just has the same role in They Live as well. Yeah. He's just kind of like, hey, don't do that. Well, I guess I'm in on it too now.
When they uncovered that alien, Keith David said, it may be pretty, sweetheart, but I didn't bring it out for air.
Stuck on his thing.
And Kurt Russell's like, put that thing away.
Oh. He told him to skin that smoke wagon and go to work.
Ooh. Smoke wagon.
But I like how Keith David is like the absolute skeptic among them. Like, there's all of this hard evidence, and he's like, I don't believe in this voodoo bullshit.
Yeah.
And the stoner guy's like, it's a chariot of the gods, man. They practically rule South America, man. Like, fucking, they taught the Incans everything that they know, dude.
Yeah, he's basically the Dusty from Twister, He's like, this is the suck zone.
He is my least favorite character in this movie. And I remember earlier viewings to where it was always Windows. I always fucking hated Windows. I hated him.
Poor guy, though.
But then rewatching, I just really zoomed in on this guy and was like, I don't like him, his acting, or his character. Fuck this guy.
I know exactly why you don't like him, but I can't bring it up because we're going to bring up some theories here shortly, and we got to get to a particular scene and let some blood out.
Fair enough.
So, I don't remember who is who, to be honest. Like, I've got all these like alternative names for everybody. Like I've got Orange Vest Dude who turns into like Brown Shirt Dude or
Okay.
Brown Jacket Dude. There's Kmart Danny Masterson.
Oh no.
70 show. Yeah, you guys know who I'm talking about.
That's basically his brother from Malcolm in the Middle.
Yeah, you got Kmart Richard Dreyfuss too. He's in there.
Oh, well, I can do a rundown. So you have Bennings. He's the fella that runs the kennel. Blair, which is Wilford Brimley.
Yeah.
Childs, who is Keith David. Doc, who is, well, he's the doctor. He's Copper. You have Fuchs, which is like, he's the science gentleman with the beard and the glasses. You have, Gary. You know, he used to be the leader of the group, but now it's McCready. He's the guy with the 45, killed the guy at the beginning. And McCready, of course, you know, Lord and Savior Kurt Russell. Knowles is the gentleman who works in the black gentleman that works in the kitchen with his little roller skates and skimpy shorts.
The younger guy.
Yeah. Norris is the volcanologist from Dante's Peak. Palmer is the hippie guy, and Windows is like the really I don't want to say nerdy, but he's kind of like a chirpy fella. Kind of gets the dick in the stick. Like everybody thinks it's him at the beginning.
Is that like Windows 95 or more like Windows NT? This was 1982. I don't know.
Well, when he got fucking chomped on, it made the error sound. Dunk.
So I want to talk about that real quick. Just the scene of him getting chewed on.
Was he chewed or swallowed?
Chewed for sure.
Yeah, yeah. And I know exactly what you're gonna say. Out of all the effects in this movie, that is the most flawed for sure.
Man, like the little polio legs whipping around all over the place.
They try to keep it in soft focus, but man, there's no getting around it. It's just like a dummy throwing around a dummy.
It's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, and John Carpenter's just like, add more screams, make it real.
Now, what you want to do is take that normal-sized human body, make it about a third of the size, make sure all of its limbs are wacky waving inflatable tube men.
I didn't even notice it.
What?
It's really floppy. It's very. It does take you out of it for a moment, but you know.
I mean, if that's the worst thing in the film, then who cares? Because the rest of the film is fucking immaculate.
Yeah, you can just like brush your shoulders off, like, you know, it just adds charm.
Yeah, and I guess they plug things into the computer and find some more things out. The probability that one or more of the crew is infected. I don't know how they do, you know, computer analyzations of things like this in 82, but the chance that somebody's infected is 75%. And if it makes it to the mainland, then the entire world population is going to be infected in 27,000 hours. I don't know. Math is hard.
It's a lot of hours. I think we would make it.
It's just a lot. Yeah. At this point, Blair had been locked away in some shed because, you know, he went fucking stir crazy. And you're like, you know, just to play it safe, let's just lock this old diabetic man away.
Yeah. And they come up with a idea. Hey, we can test contaminated blood against uncontaminated blood since it assimilates it. And they're like, haha, we have blood in the whatever. And they go to get the blood, and Dracula done been there.
Fucking Dracula, what you doing down here in Antarctica?
Sucking. Right. I don't know.
Well, I guess, I mean, half the year he doesn't have to worry about sunlight, so, I mean, makes sense.
He's just, like, hanging out. Blah, blah, blah. I don't know.
So they lock Wilford Brimley in the tool shed, and, you know, he's just chilling up there with a bottle of Smirnoff.
Totally not weaving a noose for himself or anything.
Where'd that rope come from?
Dude, like, when they come back to check on him, he's like, listen, I'm okay. Please let me out. Clearly a suicide attempt right next to him.
That's kind of the funniest. Like, if there are any humorous parts of this whole movie, that's really dark humor, and it's hilarious. It's just like, no, I'm okay now. I promise, I'm fine. I freaked out a little bit before. I'm okay now. Stares at him through noose.
Yeah, and Kurt's response is like flawless. He goes, I'll think about it, and kind of slides out of the view and shuts the little window.
You gotta get out of here before they start blaming me for this shit.
Yeah, he's like, you're gonna kill yourself? Hashtag one less. All right.
Hashtag one less.
Oh, no.
But in the meantime, like, they have to board up everything in the station to grab the flamethrowers, board everything up. If we're not backed by whatever, just, don't let anybody in. And after they check on Wilford Brimley, they come back sans McCready. I think it's just Knowles. And he's like, I lost him in the thing, I cut the line, so he's just out there. So if it's him, whatever. And man, Mad Dog McCready comes back, froze the shit, breaks a window, and just like, hey, it ain't me. Come at me. I got the dynamites.
Yeah. Well, he didn't just like leave him out there for no reason. He found, all right, something that we've skimmed over is when this thing starts to take over a human body, it rips that human's clothing off. It just splits it open, and he found a ripped open shirt of McCready's.
And I also find that kind of odd because like they went to the work shed, to hang out with Wilford Brimley for a little bit, and Noel said he found that in his fireplace or whatever in McCready's little space where he was playing chess and stuff, and those are two completely different areas. And by the time they got back, I guess the winter storm had kicked up or whatever, and that's when he lost him. So, like, what was he doing in his place anyways? Well, they were just coming right back.
Knowles is sus.
Knowles is sus.
But he holds everyone hostage. Like, if you guys try to fucking, vote me out, I'm gonna take us all with this dynamite. And he kind of bullies his way out of the room, and all hell starts breaking loose in the room because as he, what was the fucking... the dude from the volcanologist from
that's
Norris, whatever.
Yeah.
That guy. He had a stroke or something.
Yeah, I guess the thing wasn't really prepared to assimilate a really unhealthy man, and he just straight up falls over and it's like, ouch,
Like, I didn't get that because this creature can survive for, eons frozen, but if it takes a slight jostling, it's done for.
Nah, it's gotta be like cholesterol or something. The aliens, they don't deal with cholesterol well or something.
It was pretty ridiculous because like he fell down, kind of gave you the impression like he may have fell on something, maybe he was impaled, but no, he was just a fat ass.
And he starts to metamorphose, like right there in front of them.
Well, not quite. They take Norris to the dock and they put him on a slab and they're like, hey, you gotta help him out. He's like, well, I don't hear a heartbeat. Grab the defibrillator. And this scene, boy, this fucking dock gets dicked.
Whenever he pushes down with the defibs and he's like, clear, and the fucking whole chest cavity opens up into a monstrous mouth that just eats both of his fucking arms off. He double stumps in the air, sprays blood, falls off the table. It's fucking nuts.
100% agree. Like, this man, what we know of him, he seemed like a nice guy, very smart, very informative. He didn't deserve the way he went. Now, like, congrats to him for not being infected or anything, but damn.
It also kicks off the fucking special effects just climax, to me anyways. This is fucking great. They set it on fire and it's all coming apart after it's sprayed into the ceiling. I don't know, man. There's just so many fucking cool bits to what is going on there.
Going back to the scene with the doctor, is that when the decapitated head comes off and starts like crawling around with little fucking spider legs? That shit is cool.
Yeah, so the movie lets us know that when backed into a corner, the thing will panic to survive. So in front of all these witnesses, fucking the volcanologist guy, Norris, he just explodes in a brand new creature just trying to escape. And, McCready, Kurt Russell, he's like, nah, it fucking lights his shit on fire. And it's some of the grossest shit you'll ever see on film. And the thing is so, I guess, smart or so survivalistic that, like, another chunk of body shreds off. Like, this man's head falls to the floor, this goopy mess, and fucking spider crawls away just to escape.
I don't think we're doing it justice enough. The actual, the head, it doesn't just fall off. You see, it's almost like dangling there with like some kind of a mucusy, snotty kind of thing. Then it just drops gently to the floor, and then we see it starting to inch its way away using its tentacles, It's like just a decapitated head, but it's sprouting tentacles to move itself across the floor. Then it sprouts its fucking spider legs. It's really fucking cool.
Yeah, and Palmer, of all people, looks around, catches it trying to get through the doorway. He's like, that is a man's head.
Brilliant. And then they set it on fire, and it screams this weird, garbly scream.
Oh yeah, like the guttural alien screams are just fucking god awful in the best way. Ugh.
Yeah, it's like strained human vocal cords run through a synthesizer.
So of course, Mac lights the room up, kills Norris on the table, kills Norris' head trying to creep away and everything. And then everybody is totally just freaked out right now. So they just all have to like congregate and just kind of figure this whole thing out.
Yeah, nobody trusts anybody at this point.
Everybody real sus right now.
Super sus, yep.
So at this point, McCready's trying to like get everyone to rally towards his plan, and I think the lumberjack dude that Chandler keeps talking about, Clark, is creeping towards him like, yeah, we're buddies, right? Because I secretly grabbed up a scalpel you didn't know about. And he's like, no, you stay over there. And he's like, we're all going to get tied up, and I'm going to test your blood. And Childs has none of it.
Yeah, it's great, because like Childs is just like pushing back, and McCready, he's just like, listen, if you don't fucking do this, I'm going to blow your brains out. I mean it. And the child is just like, I guess you do.
That, to me, I was rolling there too. He's like, I'll fucking shoot you because you ain't gonna do shit. Click, I'll do it. I guess you will, sir.
Yeah.
And he gets bum rushed from behind by Clark, and he just spins on him and he's like, no, and smokes him.
Like, blasted dude right in the head. Like, he wasn't even looking at him. It was just like, arm whip, head turn, he'd already fired.
Dude goes down like a sack of potatoes. And he goes, see, I told you I'd smoke your ass.
Potato. This is when they start drawing the blood from the thumbs, like unnecessarily cutting specifically into the thumb for whatever reason. Yeah.
Well, they have to hide the little blood tube and everything. I mean, they did that for real.
That's true, I guess. And McCready's heating up that copper wire. I don't know. I guess it reacts to the copper wire, the hot copper wire.
Yeah. Every single piece of that creature wants to survive.
So human blood is just blood. It's just tissue. But alien blood,
it'll jump away from fire. It's just what it do. So McCready's there, and he's warming it up, and he's like, all right, let me go through a name of lists, or a list of names.
Lists.
Yeah, buddy. And he's like, you there, guy who's been super sus the whole time, Mr. Windows, you're guilty. And Windows is selling so hard to be guilty, by the way. He's like,
like the whole time he's just super fucking scared, and he's just kind of just like clamming up the whole time. So like, yeah, I guess it's super suspicious because he's just like, no, it's not me. But like, he's just like the little fella of the group. So I guess, as soon as McCready finds out like he's not the thing, it's just like this nice sigh of relief for the little guy.
See, to me, it reminded me completely of Ravenous whenever the cannibal guy is with him for the first time, and then he's freaking out and starts digging in the hole, and then he comes at him, he's kind of pawing at him, and he's like, no, starts going backwards. I was like, why is he doing that?
The roster continues, so he tests Windows' blood, of course, nothing, he's good. 10 out of 10, Windows, you're doing a good job. XP for you. And then test Child's blood, he's good. Test Null's blood, super good. He was going to test Gary's blood, but then Gary's just like, this is all horse shit. It's not going to prove a goddamn thing. He's like, you know what? I knew you were thinking that way. That's why I'm going to get to you last. As dipping his hot little copper rod into Palmer's blood and just like, rah!
It's like a hand or something, a claw sprouted up from the little, what do they call it?
Petri dish?
Yeah, the little Petri dish.
Of course, the thing, who is now Palmer, or Palmer thing, whatever you're going to call it, he's just like, well, fellas, you got me.
Yes, the jig is up, and he starts gyrating in his massage chair as his legs punch through the floor and his arms shoot into the ceiling, and he's just got a fucking Venus flytrap head. It's badass.
Dude, I felt super sorry for Childs and Gary sitting right next to him. They were flipping their shit watching this dude melt.
Just
Yeah, he becomes one of those like fucking the things from Super Mario Brothers or something.
Ooh,
Like,
the plant.
yeah.
It goes from intense music to just dun 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 dun.
It's still really fucking cool though.
Oh, for sure. Like, grows some fucking super legs, pulls up the couch that he's on, hits the ceiling, grasps it, falls back a foot taller, and poor Windows, just being in proximity, he gets the munch.
He gets quote unquote ragdolled and then tossed in a corner.
And we mentioned before, like, this effect it's a bit laughable. Like, like you mentioned earlier, Brady, like, if that's the worst this movie has, give it a pass.
Yeah, because it immediately redeems itself with the flamethrower scene when he's burning the monster. Holy shit, is that cool?
Yeah.
And whenever Windows is resurrecting, it looks like there's it might be the practical effect of just a stuntman covered in fireproof jelly or what the fuck ever, but he's covered in viscous fluids, and he's set aflame, and it looks like a real person sitting there getting fucking roasted. It's wild. Like, the way his legs are moving, it's uncomfortable.
Now, we found out during the blood testing thing that McCready actually murdered Clark. Like, he wasn't the thing or anything.
Yeah.
And then you realize that, this thing may take time to assimilate, so Windows just got the goop. He just got slimed. And then McCready's just like, oh, fuck no. Whoosh.
Yeah, they're in an office, and he just sets the flamethrower just like right onto this thing. I feel like that's probably a bad idea. Flames indoor. There's a lot of stuff that can catch on fire there. They should probably go outside for this.
It's cold.
It's cold. I get it. Yeah.
Cold beats fire, like paper beats rock.
But now everyone's okay, and they need to do one final test though, on our boy Wilford Brimley out in his shack.
True.
Can I do one final test on this damn beer?
Oh shit.
Damnation, get to it.
Speaking of damnation, whatever. What I've got today. Anyway, what I've got here today is Damnation from Russian River Brewing Company. Once again, Russian River. This is 7.5% alcohol by volume. I believe this is a Belgian golden ale. It looks pretty golden. Smells pretty golden. Now, it's got a little bit of like those banana and bubblegum maybe notes. Real sweet on the nose. Maybe a little clove. Not quite as much as you'd have in like a real banana-y wheat beer, but that's good. Crisp, not overly hopped, not overly sweet, really well balanced, and a lot of good notes in there from the bubblegum, clove, banana family. Solid.
The kind of thing that keeps you warm on a Antarctic cold day.
It could be that fucking bottle of E&J that he keeps passing around.
Yeah, there's several bottles of liquor that keeps getting passed around. There's an E&J, there's a bottle of scotch, there's that little bottle of Smirnoff vodka that Wilford Brimley has. These guys enjoy their liquor.
Yeah.
And if I was on Antarctica, I can't blame them.
And that's a little nugget for later. I'll tell you guys when we get to the very end.
For
sure.
Nuggets.
This is a spicy nugget.
Well, I'm very curious if you had the same thought I did.
Yeah, so after this massive fucking flamethrower party, we're down to a very few crew members left. Of course, we have Blair out there just by himself. But with the mainstay, we have McCready, Gary, Knowles, and Fuchs, who ran out in like forever ago, I guess.
Yeah.
Is Childs not still alive?
And
Yeah,
Child.
Yeah, okay.
There it is.
And so they're going to go and check on Wilford. So 3 of them go. They leave Childs to watch over the main base while they go out to the little shack. Gary, Knowles, and McCready. They go out there and they open the door and like, what the shit? It's empty. And he was like, be back, had to get insulin, and dug a tunnel.
And the tunnel they find is very, I don't know. I feel like it's a really big tunnel for such a little time that he had out there.
Yeah, but I mean, like, aliens got power. They could be like fucking Michael Phelps swimming through that snow or something, digging tunnels.
Fair enough.
They got flippers and shit.
Well, not only do they have flippers, they can use helicopter parts to build a UFO, a flying saucer. Or at this part, Just a landed saucer.
Unassembled. It looked like someone left that shit on like a bad street in New York and it just got stripped. That's what happened to the Jetsons when they visited the Bronx.
Ooh.
So while they're discovering that there's a spaceship, they see Childs run off into the night for some odd reason as they return back to the station. Of course, after blowing up the UFO.
Yeah, Knowles is on point, having a lookout and everything. Sees Childs. Childs notices Knowles, does like a hand wave or signal, and runs towards the generator area.
Sus.
Super sus, yep, 100%.
Extremely sus. And of course, you got a bunch of dudes with dynamite, gotta blow shit up, so kablooey.
Big facts.
Yeah, so they figure out that the alien's whole thing just wants to get frozen again, just wants to chill out, So at this point, they're like, fucking, let's warm things up, right?
Yeah.
Right? That's what you do?
It's a pretty harrowing moment where McCreary's like, listen, we're not going to make it through this, period. So we're just going to have to make it real hard for this fucking thing to get around.
I mean, okay, thinking about it, what's the worst thing if we just let that alien dig itself another little sarcophagus and let it go back to sleep for 100,000 years?
Well, the thing is, they already knew they were going to die, so the search party that were going to come in afterwards is what it was waiting for.
Yeah, it's already 2 steps ahead of them. It's planning, to die, but just in the form of a person.
Yeah. In fact, I think that's what the people in the helicopter from the Norwegian place was the search party after, I guess, radio silence after everyone else was killed.
I don't know.
So, anyways, they're like...
Chandler, you're acting kind of sus over there.
I was doing my tasks.
So, call an emergency meeting. That was the cleanest swipe I've had in my entire life.
You son of a bitch.
At this point, they literally have C4 vests, and they're just loaded to the brim with dynamite. They're like, okay, what we got to do is just make sure that we kill this fucking thing with us. And they set all these bombs. There's Blair. He's down there skulking around. You have McCready, Knowles, and Gary. And these guys are like, we're going to win. Eric, do they in fact win?
Well, I mean, 1 out of 3 ain't bad.
So, which one's Gary? Is Gary Sheriff Brownshirt?
Yes.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know names. There's too many names.
Well, I mean, the only reason why I know these fellas is because I've seen this movie a billion times. Like, these are like, it's kind of like Brady and Predator. He knows like all the fellas on the helicopter.
Okay.
But yeah, like Kurt Russell takes his dynamite. He's trying to like plant it in these like strategery places and whatnot. Gary's on point. Knowles is somewhere within the vicinity. And Gary gets shat on by good old Blair there, man. He gets his fucking face immediately assimilated into his hand.
That is one of the coolest special effects because it's seamless. Literally, Wilford Brimley reaches into his face and it's so fucking weird looking, but so seamless. Just instantly happens.
I want to take your face off.
Yes.
There it is. Yes. Yeah, hot.
What happens to Knowles? Like, did I stop paying attention? Because I never saw anything like kill him or anything. He's just gone.
No, he was killed by an edit in the movie. That's just how it is. So...
That's just the way it is.
Yeah, like, so McCready trying to get this whole dynamite thing figured out to blow up the major part of the station. He runs into Thing Blair, or Blair Thing, whatever you want to call it, and it's just like super ultra mega thing or whatever. He's legend.
He's legend.
Exactly. I mean, in this bit, like, he has a really cool fucking part where it sneaks up on him, breaks through the floor, he does an action roll, it roars at him, and he's just like, yeah, well, fuck you too, and just hucks a thing of dynamite at him. And it triggers that whole kibosh or whatever of dynamite that he had been planted down there, and I think that explosion kills Knowles.
Oh, okay. I just assumed it was something that I missed. I thought that was on me, but okay.
Yeah, because the explosion was so large. Like, I think it should have killed McCready too at that point, but like,
should have killed
the main character. Yeah.
So we're treated to a triple-decker nuclear explosion, blows up 3 different fucking times from 3 different fucking angles, all of which are badass. Pure gasoline explosions, big red fireballs. Lovely. And then all of a sudden, here comes McCready, fine as ever. And then he flops down next to all this burning shit. And then our boy, They Live shows up and he flops down.
And immediately you notice differences between the two gentlemen. So it's super cold out, like minus Killia. And, McCready's been walking through this joint for however long, and he's basically almost dead on arrival. And he plops down, and the little bit of energy he has left, and Childs just walks up and is like, huh, so you gave up pork. And he just kind of just rolls into the joint. Now, this is one of the few places I want to discuss. So, between these two fellas, they choose to wait each other out because they are super sus of each other. And it's up to the audience to take this ambiguous ending and try to figure out who's who or who's what. Gentlemen, what do you think?
If you die first, I'm gonna eat you.
Exactly. I'm gonna go 100%. I think it's Kurt Russell. I think as he passes that bottle, all he has to do is put a little bit of himself in that bottle and then give it to Childs. Childs takes a drink. Now he's infected too. And all he has to do is wait a little while and see what happens.
Chandler?
I kind of think they're both good, honestly.
Okay. That's actually, okay, cool. All right.
So,
yeah.
You think that they got the imposters, but there's no confirm on.
Yeah, I think they got the imposters. They're just both just like, I'm very suspicious of you. I know you're very suspicious of me. Let's just sit out here and drink this bottle of whiskey until we both die of, being cold.
Okay. I say it's Childs, and I have two pieces of evidence to support my theory. Here we go. Childs' coat is completely different when he shows up to Kurt Russell.
Oh.
He left with like a really dark navy jacket, shows up in just a regular kind of ratty brown jacket, and we do get a little bit of a first person mode, like a little bit of whatever before Kurt Russell gets to his final resting place, as if we were from the view of the Thing looking for some clothes, because the last thing we see is an open door where Childs was and the coat's hanging right next to it. Now, evidence piece number 2, when Kurt Russell hands in that drink and he takes a swig, Childs was in the room and in agreement when they all came together and said, this thing can assimilate you with the slightest bit of creature or whatever, slightest bit of DNA, so let's all eat and drink separately, preferably out of cans.
Okay. But if you think you're going to die anyway, would you rather die cold and sober?
Now, that's not a bad idea, but Childs is an arrogant man, and he would not want to lose.
That's a thought. I mean, that's some good evidence there.
This got me thinking, though. Eric, why you got to make my brain work?
I like this movie.
I don't know. I suspect Kurt Russell because the hero should be a villain at some point. But with the POV of the jacket, and then he's wearing the jacket, that's definitely a cookie or an Easter egg or
a cookie.
And John Carpenter's super deliberate. Earlier in the movie when they found the tattered long johns or whatever, you can clearly see in the crew who is wearing the long johns and who isn't.
Well, as they say, you either die a hero or live long enough to become a villain, right? That's what they say.
Or you're sus long enough to get ejected.
Yeah.
Damn. I don't know, man. I like it though.
All right, guys. Final thoughts?
I'm just going to get mine out of the way. This is a terrific picture. This movie came out, bombed, hated by the critics. The audience were totally confused and disgusted by it. Which I guess in a 1982 audience, I guess they weren't ready for it, but your kids will love it.
Yeah. For me, like I said, this is probably the third time that I've seen it, and I like it and appreciate it more every time. The practical effects are awesome, not just for 1982, but for fucking any time. I don't care. They look really fucking good. The story is it's intriguing, it's evocative, you're always thinking, you're always wondering, you always have that suspicion, even as a viewer. I just can't say enough good things about it. I think it's one of the greatest horror movies of all time.
That's hard to follow up on. Wow. So to me, I love this film. I've always been super into this movie, even when other John Carpenter's things I do not care for, like John Carpenter's vampires. But
Oh no.
It's got to go on the list.
this is a fucking masterpiece. Like you sit there and you watch, and it's hard for a movie to get you to think and actually want to pay attention, because they give you a couple easy ones, like this guy is guilty, and that this animal is guilty. Now, start putting it together for the end, and that's a lot of fun, because you're along for more than just a viewing experience. You're in for a thought experiment. It's a really good movie.
It's like it's horror, science fiction, and mystery all in one, and that's kind of a combination that you don't get very often.
Well, this is the ultimate not who done it, but who is it?
Bravo, sir. Bravo.
That was The Thing. John Carpenter's The Thing from 1982. If you have any strong feelings about the show or the movie alone, leave them in the comment section below.
Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Absolutely crush that little bell icon so next time we have another one brewing.
Get out there and follow us on all of our wonderful social media accounts. We got that Facebook, we got a Twitter, Instagram, Reddit. We got an administrator. He is like pooping out content for you guys. So check that shit out too. If you don't, maybe one day we'll show up on your doorstep and you'll be like, "Who are you?" And I'll be like, with my noodle fingers.
I'll just be a good boy.
Oh,
Chandler's just a furry.